Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are rounding third, headed for home. We've got quite a bit to do still, so let's jump right in. All right, so I've got a hood and fenders to install, but I thought let's just do something fun, right? Let's do these spotlights, get it out of the way. It's gonna look cool too. I can't wait to see them on there. If you haven't been following along, these are Unity Model H1 spotlights. These are what Bear would have had on him when he was in service. This set here is new old stock, never been installed on a car, even came with the instructions. Very cool. This side over here, we'll just call this driver's side. It has been on a car before, but geez, it looks brand new. So not all of the hardware is there, but I'm sure I've got something in the garage that's going to work. So let's get going on this. Okay, guys, last weekend was a serious thrash. I got the fenders and the hood installed on Bear. The spotlights got done. Finished up the wiring on the air conditioning. You guys don't really need to worry about that too much. Did a quick tune on the carburetor, set the timing. He's running like a top. That was last weekend. This weekend, it's my last weekend working on Bear. 2 years and 4 or 5 months later, here we are. Steve is here. He's ready to take this guy to Phil Masso, who is going to install the emergency equipment. Should be pretty cool. You will get to see that as well. That'll be the next episode. But anyways, Steve brought a whole bunch of parts with him that we needed to finish the job here. We got grill and buckets for the headlights. We've got a push bar, an actual LA Sheriff's Department push bar that we need to drill some holes in this bumper and get it mounted up. Seats, we got seats that have been reupholstered. We're going to install those as well. So should be fun to drive this guy sitting in a seat instead of sitting on the floor. But anyways, we're going to get to ripping and tearing here and get going.
Well, about 2 years and 4 months ago, you and I were sitting in front of a green Nova 4-door jalopy. Now, a little different. I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Let me know. Steve's going to take Bear up to Rhode Island to see Phil Massa. He's going to be the wizard as far as the lighting and radios are concerned. Get all that stuff installed. Decals got to get installed on the doors and whatnot, and then it's off to California for you for a big show and kind of an unveiling. And yeah, it feels like it's been a long time since I started this job, but it really flew, I guess. Right? Does that make sense? I guess not. Anyways, guys, one more episode after this one. Please stick around for it. It'll be a few weeks, but it's coming. You have a good one. I'll see you later.